Welcome to Lunchtime with Liz. All right, today it's going to be super simple. We're going to stick with paper, ink, stamps. That's it. No extra embellishments, no layers. I don't even have any measurements to give you today. What? Look how cute this is. Okay, I like him, that turtle. All right, so I'm going to put that aside. The stamps that I'll be using is Back on Your Feet. Look at those guys, aren't they cute? Sigh, I like this, sigh. Sometimes that's all there is to say, and that I'm here for you. Hope you're back on your feet soon. Hope things get better soon. Ouch, this is not good. Okay, back on your feet. So this is in the annual catalog. I'll be using the ink pad Pool Party. If you are not on my newsletter email list, get me your email soon, because depending on when you're watching this video, next week, November 16th in 2021, the ink pads are going to be on sale. So there's that. If you're watching this video later on after that, sorry. But anyway, so I'll be using Pool Party today. And I'll be using the watercolor pencils in the annual catalog. There are two sets of watercolor pencils. There is an assortment 1 and assortment 2. They're just different colors. So for today, I'll be using the assortment 2 watercolor pencils. And I will be using a blender pen. These come in packs of 3. They're double tipped, so it's really like having 6 markers. And I'll show you that in a minute. And then the blending brush, because as you've already seen, love, love, love this. And I'm glad to see that a number of you have ordered your own so that you can have fun and play with those. And then I'll be using Stays On black ink pad. So let's go ahead with this. Normally when I did cards with you before, I had the paper 8.5 by 11 and we cut it 5.5 inches. I'm doing this one a little bit differently. Instead of having your paper horizontally, turn it vertically. Okay. And then I'm taking, it's a 8.5 by 11 still, but I'm cutting at 4.25 inches. And then I scored at 5.5 inches. So let's go ahead and use the bone folder and get a good crease here. And my Stays On ink pad. And I'm going to grab this little turtle because he's just cute. I think I'm getting some shadow, and I'm trying my best not to do that for you guys. All right. Stamp our turtle right here in the center. Voila. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the words. And the words say, I hope you're back on your feet soon. Let's see if I don't get this too inky here. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's all stamped. It dries pretty quickly, so no need to, wait at all. The 2 pencils I pulled out of that assortment set, I have Granny Apple Green and Garden Green. The beautiful thing with these watercolor pencils, you don't have to be super great with being in the lines or get all details, because watch this. I'm going to just do the center. And I'm just kind of sort of scribbling, I guess. I'm putting the ink just on one side. I don't know if it's ink necessarily, but the color. I'm using the Granny Apple Green. So that it'll be like a stronger color on one side of that square. Like there's little squares there. I'm just using the green on like 1/2 of that, okay? And then I'm going to go in with my darker green. And watch how I'm just sort of scribbling in here. It doesn't have to be exact. And see how you can be pretty quick with it then? I'm just getting green in all the spaces, but I'm not worrying about being super careful about it, okay? So there you have it, all right? And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my blending pen, my blender pen. I'm going to do the light colors first. So I'm going to go in with that light green, the granny apple. All right, let me try and do this so I can avoid some shading here for you. This is an area where if I were left-handed, I think it would be better. But, okay. And then what this blending pen does is it takes away all the lines of the pencil. You get shading because remember I only colored on one side of the little squares. And then when you have a color, I'm just going to go to a darker color, but if I wanted to change colors totally, like go from, you know, green to a purple or something, just go on your scratch paper and get rid of any color that's on here, and then you can go right to the next color. So now I'm going to go over the dark green, the garden green. And all those scribble lines I did, they all disappear because they're watercolor pencils and I'm using a blender pen. Kind of magic. See that? Look how cute he is. Now those little scribble lines I did are gone. He's super cute, right? Okay, and I could just leave it like that, but I want to highlight him. So I'm going to grab my favorite Post-its. And I'm going to make a square around the turtle. Don't worry about it being exact. Okay, doesn't have to be exactly done. Just going to connect my Post-its. You could also, if you find a shape of a paper punch that you like, you could punch out a shape, like make I don't know what you call it, like a template. Use a paper punch, punch out a hole in the center or something, and put that over top. But we're going to use Post-it notes for this. I'm going to open up my pool party, grab my blender brush, pick up a little color, and I want to just lightly, because I just want to highlight this turtle. I'm going to start on the blender brush, on the Post-it, and we're going to just brush in. Okay, I know some of you have gotten the blender brushes now. I'd love to see what you're creating with it. I had someone just tell me recently that they got the blender brushes and they're so much better than using a sponge for this kind of a thing. Sponges still have their purpose, but okay. So I'm going to take this off of here. And now the turtle got highlighted. Look how cute he is. Okay, so that's it. That's our card for today. So give it a try. If you have watercolor pencils, go for it. Watercolor pencils and the blender pen. You could also use the water painters also. That's just a preference. Some people like the water painters better. Some people like the blender pen better. I think you have a little bit more control with the blender pen. So this might be better in the beginning, and then you can try the water painters. Okay, but that's it for today. Give it a try. Talk with you later. Bye-bye.